How I would maintain positive mental health is by going outside, getting away from a situation that I'm struggling with. So that might involve going for a walk or just changing the scenery. I'd also think about doing something creative, listening to music, doing something which doesn't involve any pressure. So playing music or listening to it, doing some drawing or some colouring, just doing something creative that doesn't involve any pressure. I'd also talk to friends, socialise. That's always a good way to maintain positive mental health, by talking about whatever issues you're having, getting support from others.
So things that I do to look after myself and my mental health. I think for me it's more focusing on the physical aspects, so trying to keep active as much as I can. Obviously at the start of lockdown this was a lot harder because obviously the gyms were shut and I wasn't able to play sport like I did. So just things like taking a dog for a walk, and if you don't have a dog you just go for a walk. Keeping making sure, especially if I wasn't doing anything during the day, try not to stay in bed and laze around as much, so try to get out and do things. The weather can impact my mood quite a lot as well. But also it's, looking at your diet, trying to maintain and eat a good, healthy diet. And I think when times that I did struggle, I think knowing that I had people that I could talk to, having a good network, really makes a big impact for me, and I think for everyone to get that done.
Personally, when I was in rock bottom back in March, I started working out. For me, working out was something that I could do. It might not be working out, it's just something that you can look forward to every day. For me, it was reaching out to friends also. In lockdown, it was especially hard because obviously everything's over messaging and voice calls, but it's just about finding that leeway and finding something that will keep you going. I think the night times was the hardest part for me because obviously that's when everyone goes to sleep. For me, I would write a journal, or I'd think about everything that's positive that's happened that day. If not anything that's happened that day, then I'd still just write things down. I'll be writing down things that I'm looking forward to the next day, and I'll just keep doing that over and over, and it's really worked.
I'll tell her not to overwork yourself and don't put too much pressure on yourself. In my first year of university, I was working 9 hours a day, 5 days a week, on top of going to lectures and trying to balance a social life. I'll tell her to just take it a bit easier and make sure she reaches out for support if she needs it, because little do you know, you've got an amazing support system around you.
I think the main thing that I would say to a younger version of me would be, don't be afraid to open up to anyone and anything, if that matter. I think granted at that age, especially when you're younger, maybe you haven't got as much life troubles going on, but still for me, I did suppress a lot of things that I'd went through or experienced. But I think getting an early intervention can prevent more problems happening in the long run. So as hard as it can be, obviously growing up and stuff, but knowing that you've got that support there, take it, because there's always that good listening ear which you need to help you out with your problems.
Get help. It's as simple as that. For me, I didn't want to admit I had a problem. In my eyes, I was like, nah, I'm fine, I'm strong, I can do this on my own. But that made me push away people closest to me, which made my situation worse. But for me, it was just about trying to do it on my own. And it's only when I got help and I started speaking to student support and my friends about it that I actually started seeing an improvement. Because if you think you can do it alone, you are very wrong. I mean, it's hard to do it alone. It's a very hard place to be. So I very strongly suggest just get help. Even if that's help through your friends, through your family. I came home, luckily I had a fortunate with lockdown. I got to come home and stay with my family. So I think that was a big help for me, because I had people supporting me around me that knew my situation. And it was great, yeah.
Essentially just listen to them. Just listen to them if they need to rant or if they need to just unload. don't ask them what they need from you and don't assume anything. So just listen. If they want help, they'll ask for it, I'm sure. You can always offer, of course, but I think it's essential not to assume that you understand how that person's feeling. You just have to listen. And that's how I'd support a friend.
If you're trying to support a friend, then a piece of advice that I would give you is to just sit down and talk to them. Even if you think you're really, really bad at giving advice, all this person could really want is just someone to talk to and get things off their chest to. This can be really daunting in first year because you don't really know each other, but you'll soon find that you're all in the same boat and you all just want to support each other.